handicap trot. With FAI, we're round at the start point as we look at the favourite for the race, number 14, On the Wagon. Maurice McHenry stays with the ship. A good third last time it raced at the New Zealand Metro meeting. Finished fourth and was promoted to third on that occasion. But Clive Herbert's had one or two problems with this 3-year-old by Perno Eden. But obviously, problem has been overcome, and On the Wagon is going to certainly give those who's made it favourite a decent run for their money. There's number 12, Berwyn Bridge. Got a bit of a sneaking regard for Berwyn Bridge. $21.15 and $5.85. Big money for a horse that won 2 on end just 3 and 4 starts ago. Last time was travelling quite sweetly when it broke at the 600 metre mark, but there was a reason for that. Horse on the inside made a bit of a noise and just put Berwyn Bridge off stride, and after that Jim Smith had no chance of catching them. But he did say to me last week he was travelling quite nicely at the time, and if Berwyn Bridge doesn't encounter those sort of problems, great place money, $5.85 the place. Number 4 is Still Troppo in the Langdon colours, just there in centre screen now. Todd Mitchell takes the drive. Still Troppo, with 2 firsts and a third at its last 3 starts, is paying $5.15 and $2.25. Certainly has a show to give this field a bit of a shake. So when those back markers turn into line, they'll be away from the 2700 metre mark. There's one of them on the front mark there, giving a little bit of a problem. Still Troppo having a look at the Cambridge way of racing. Once he faces in the right direction and gets up to the tape, they should be released. Radio Pacific at Albigain to give us the call.
Racing, race 9, Veggie World, and away they go. The back marker began well. That was Rona's Jewel. Getting out nicely was Yankee Crockett on the outside. Still Troppo began well. Mountain Sergio's well away, followed out by Perestroika, and Darlem made a flyer. They're followed over on the outside then by Skeeky Weeky, just ahead of it Archangel, and then out wider on the track then to Bev Hart. Skeeky Weeky just went off for a stride or two, but now quickly settled On the Wagon. The favourites settling about 14 lengths from them. They're followed by Archangel. Then we've got on the outside now Rona's Jewel, Kaji and Bev's Boy. Further back to Breaking Berwyn Bridge, Azamar, as they make towards it. Corner now with 2200 metres to go. The leader now on the inside as they come down is Yankee Crockett from Still Troppo, Mountain Sergio and Perestroika. In behind them, lying 5th now on the outside, rather just on the rail now is Archangel. They're followed by Bev Hart on the outside to Skeeky Weeky. Going with it is On the Wagon. Out wider here is Darlemon to a gallop, and they're followed by Receiver's Pride, Rona's Jewel, Bev's Boy and Kaji, a gap of 10 lengths away. Azamar and 8 lengths into Berwyn Bridge. They work out of the straight, 1900 metres to go, and the leader is Yankee Crockett. Yankee Crockett being taken on now by Still Troppo, who goes to the lead soon after as they swing down the back towards the 1750. Still Troppo in front now of Yankee Crockett, Mountain Sergio, Skeeky Weeky, Perestroika. On the Wagon facing the breeze down on the inside, Archangel. Out 3 wide down the far side, Kaji is followed by Receiver's Pride. In behind them, Rona's Jewel, Bev Hart at stablemate on the inside. Then we've got Darlem followed by Azamar and Berwyn Bridge, and Bev's Boy, the breaker over on the outside, about 8 lengths further afield. Working off the back now, and Todd Mitchell, the best bet sponsored driver, shows the way with Still Troppo. On the outside, looming up is Kaji. They're followed down on the inside, Yankee Crockett. Working into the 1-1 now will be the favourite On the Wagon. They're followed Archangel from Mountain Sergio, 3 wide to Perestroika as they race in 1200 metres to go. On the inside then to Squeaky Weeky, on the outside Receiver's Pride, then Bev Hart and Rona's Jewel, Azamar, Darlem, Berwyn Bridge, and 7 or 8 lengths away to Bev's Boy. They come down to get the bell with just over a circuit left to go, and at the 1000 metre point, Still Troppo. Still Troppo from Perestroika on the outside, a length and a half away. Then we've got Kaji racing one off the rail on the outside then to Receiver's Pride. Working working through now on the inside of Kaji is Yankee Crockett. They're followed down on the inside then by Archangel. On the outside then is the favourite on the wagon, wider out to Rona's Jewel. There's one commencing a run, Dial M as they work into the back, followed Mountain Sergio Azumar. On the inside, Skeeky Weeky, Berwyn Bridge, 5 lengths, Bev Hart, and 3 lengths away. Then to Bev's Boy at the 600 metres, still Troppo holding them out by a length and a quarter. On the outside then is Perestroika. Down on the inside to Kaji, Receiver's Pride. They're followed then by On the Wagon. On the outside to Rona's Jewel. Yankee Crockett on the inside, lots of posse from Archangel, Mountain Sergio. Then Dial M under pressure, followed Skeeky Weeky, Azamar, Bev's Boy, Berwyn Bridge and Bev Hart round the corner, and still Troppo and Todd Mitchell, the best bet sponsor driver. They say goodbye out by 4 or 5 lengths, although Receiver's Prize running on strongly. In behind them, Rona's Jewel is followed then by Perestroika. Receiver's Pride and Frank Cooney loomed up to take the lead close to home, and it's Receiver's Pride drawing clear. Receiver's Pride second at the line. We've got still Troppo out wider than Archangel Flew, and photos with Rona's Jewel and On the Wagon. They were followed Mountain Sergio, Azamar, then Perestroika, Skeeky Weeky, Kaji, Bev's Boy, Berwyn Bridge, Dial M. In behind them, Bev Hart and Yankee Crockett has come home last of all.
It's been a bit of a night tonight at Alexandra Park for stable runners, featuring in 2 of the first 3 placings, and this time it's Richard Brosnan, I think, with a photo coming up for 3rd. But the horse on the inside here, still Troppo, still looked like it was going to win until we got to the 100 metre mark, and then one of the 2 Brosnan runners, number 16 Receiver's Pride and Frank Cooney, just, it was like a bullet out of a gun, and shot out of the pack and won it, going away by about 2 or 3 lengths in the end. There's a photo coming up for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I think clearly enough second. Yeah, still Troppo in a photo because it was starting to slow down pretty quickly and flashing up in the Brosnan colours wide out on the track. The other runner, Archangel, should be in the photo too for that 2nd and 3rd money, Jim.
You'd be pretty happy with yourself if you had still Troppo as they got halfway down the straight. Seemed to be travelling exceptionally well for Todd Mitchell, but then just started to feel the pinch, and Frank Cooney has a little look over the shoulder just about 50 metres out, and he knows he's got Receiver's Pride well and truly home. I think still Troppo is going to hold on for that 2nd money, but widest out on the track is number 10 Archangel. Oh no, it might have actually got up there for that 2nd money on the line, coming home at a great rate for Richard Brosnan, so it could well be a Richard Brosnan Quinella, with still Troppo just dying in the hole on the inside to grab that 3rd money, ahead of Rona's Jewel, which wasn't a bad sort of run, and then On the Wagon was also thereabouts. So 16, 10, 4 the way it's likely to finish. Receiver's Pride at good money too, $16.80. That'll put paid to some of the Pick 6 tickets, that's for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how many remain as we head into the 10th and final leg of that 250,000 guaranteed pool.
So it looks like it could be a Richard Brosnan Quinella on the cards in the 5th leg of Pick 6, although Richard picked the slower one of the 2, Frank Cooney, and Receiver's Pride, the horse that's got up number 16 on your Pick 6 ticket with just 1 leg remaining, and as Jim suggested, it might blow out a few of those 400-odd live units that were left going into that race. Got a race coming up from Australia, Harold Park in Sydney, of course, featuring Christopher Vance, and the weather and track conditions for that race tonight, fine and hard and fast, around the 760 metre circuit of Harold Park. Qantas Club mobile pace it is, goes at 10:30, so we're about 7 or 8 minutes away from start time. Number 1 is Bold BB at 5.05 and 2.05. 2, Spirit of Rhett, $9.60 to win, $3.50 for the place. Number 3, Silky Blue Chip, $11.90 and $2.35. Yankee Elmhurst is number 4 at almost 50s and $8.90. And number 5, Mr. Wiz at $19.25 and $5.65 for the place. 6 is Admiral Chimes, $52.90 and $8.50. Our Ainsley at $9.25 and $3. Hilarious Gent at $22.75 and $3.95. And then the battle for favouritism between number 9, Exceptionally Smooth, an exceptional Australian pacing mare, $3.30 and $1.20. And the old warhorse number 10, Christopher Vance at $3.25 and $1.45. He's just the favourite on the New Zealand tote. 10:30 start time for race 1 from Sydney tonight, Harold Park.
The people who care how it gets there. With offices in Auckland, Hamilton, Wellington and Christchurch, Burlington Air Express offer full import and export, air and ocean freight, customs clearance, logistics, livestock transportation and bloodstock services. Burlington Air Express, your worldwide transportation partner.
Burlington Air Express. Burlington Air Express. We get it done.
Hey guys, the truck's here.
He's early.
Is this truck coming? No? This doesn't happen in my country.
Get the barrows.
Guys, I never see like this. Where I come from is customary that correct procedure, correct equipment. If it's driveway, if it's autobahn, it's same, yeah? Yeah.
Leave truck, guys!
My God. These trucks are coming and coming and coming. It's too many, it's impossible.
Here, nothing. No plan, no one organized. I don't believe it.
Here's to it. The original draft taste of New Zealand's favourite beer.
Oh, guys, the only thing I see organized here is this beer, this DB draft.
It's good, yeah?
Yeah.
What New Zealand radio station has these personalities and a cast of thousands of New Zealanders, because it's all talkback?
Radio Pacific, the talk of New Zealand.
Certainly one of a handful of races in Pick 6 tonight that was pretty tough to select the winner of, and this has proved the tallest order so far with Pick 6 investors. Number 16, Receiver's Pride, at odds of just over 16 to 1, the winner of the Veggie World Handicap Trot. 16.80 in fact, and 4.75. The stablemate, Archangel and Richard Brosnan, at 5.70 was second. And number 4, Still Troppo, who took the race to them with about 1,700 metres to go and only just failed in the last 50 at 2.15 for third. Quinella 10 and 16, the stable Quinella, 163.85, not a bad return. And the trifecta 16, 10 and 4 on race 9 at Auckland tonight, $2,358.95. Is the market for race 10 at Alexandra Park tonight. $250,000 up for grabs on this race. We'll check out Pick 6 shortly, hopefully. The trackside team stippers, number 1, Gaelic Rose at $2.95. The place, it's the hot favourite, James Stormont. 2, Talk About Time at $20.85 and $4.95, Peter Ferguson. Otara Motor King at $26.30 and $6.95, Maury Mack. Number 4 is Butler's Credit, $51.30 and $10.60. Revelo, former Southlander, now with Derek Ball at $9.30 and $2.90, number 5. Down to Bankstown Bulldog for John Langdon stable. Colin Butler driving tonight, $12.55 and $3.90. Sir Leader at $22.80 and $5.35. Ben Wolfenden on Reba Elmhurst at $18.65 and $4.20. And Joni Vance at $6.15 and $1.95. That's the one that's been tipped by many on course so far tonight to clean up the Pick 6. And Mark Purdon will be going for a treble on that horse. Down to number 12, Checkers, Richard Brosnan, $7.90 and $2.75. 13, Placid Boy at $41.45 and $9.05. Berry Bryden is number 14 in the last at $53.90 and $10.60. $10.30 in fact. And number 15, Jefferson Eagle, Tony H at $36.30 and $8.75. Flash Condition Pace, race 10, the fifth leg of Pick 6 tonight. Margins and times just coming through for that previous event. 2 3/4 of a length the winning margin, half a head and a short neck. Winner's time for the 2,700 metre stand was 3:38.2. It's a mile rate of 2:10 flat, and they came that last half in 61 seconds flat for the event. Let's go to Jim Smith, trackside at Alexandra Park.
And just ahead of heading across the Tasman to Harold Park, joined by Jim Patterson, Chief Executive Officer for the Auckland Trotting Club. Jim, the weather hasn't been that favourable tonight, but despite that, things are looking pretty good in terms of figures.
Yes, Jim, we're having a very, very good night indeed. I think at this stage we'll be up on last year. The Pick 6, of course, being an additional bonus for us tonight. We did just over 31,000 on course on that pool. So, no, we're very, very pleased indeed.
And of course, just a week from tonight, on the 9th of June, we have the Clear Communications New Zealand 2-year-old Championship. That's stacking up to be a decent sort of go.
Yes, well, that's the final Group 1 race for the season for the 2-year-olds. $85,000 up for grabs, and with horses like the Court Owl, Karumba, Sharp and Telford, and we hope that Robert Cameron's listening and feels that getting away from the snow, he might bring Hercules up to have a crack at it as well. So no, as you say, shaping up to a very, very good race indeed.
It might not be that big in terms of numbers, but it's certainly going to be huge on quantity.
Yes, we'd be happy if we had 8 or 9 horses in that, and that makes for very, very good racing in 2-year-old events, and we'll get a very even spread of betting on that.
Just ahead of that, of course, on Thursday, the Morrinsville Trotting Club have a day meeting at Cambridge, and that's going to see the opening round of the Australasian Air New Zealand Young Drivers Championship, but that'll continue on Friday night.
Yes, we've got 2 races for those boys on that night, and we hope the trainers support those races because they are penalty free and very, very good stakes on offer. And you know, those drivers, they're a very good class of juniors.
So next Friday night here at Alexandra Park, it's going to be another good night, and the accent on winning, with the Hyundai Accent to be given away on the 28th of July, it seems to be attracting a few numbers through the gate.
It certainly does, Jim. More and more people are paying the $2 each week, and there's some very good nightly prizes. Minimum value $500, and you know, $500 worth of veggie at Veggie World tonight, and this will keep up until the last night. So we're hoping for a bonanza on the 28th.
Well, I know it's getting close to the end of the night. Can you tip me into the Quinella for the last?
Well, I like number 1, Gaelic Rose, always had a lot of ability and that, so that would be mine, and perhaps Bankstown Bulldog for the Quinella. I think the boys out there from the John Langdon stable would have a few going in the pick 6 on that if they're still alive.
I bet they would too. So good luck to you if you're still holding tickets as we head across the Tasman now to Harold Park, courtesy of our Qantas Australian Racing Service.
This is the Qantas Club Pace, our first and only race from Harold Park tonight. And a good field lining up, and of course most New Zealand interest, I suppose, in Christopher Vance, who's just drifted out to second favourite as we see the latest market going across our screen. Behind Exceptionally Smooth in this event. Old Christopher Vance, he's never been on the tally more than since he landed at the Wisby stable in Australia. And he went a good race for 4th the other night after doing a lot of hard work in the running last week, and before that we saw him win a couple of nice ones in a row, so he's just about appearing here on the Trackside channel every Friday night. As we look at the field, 10:30 start time, so they're running about a minute behind in this event. This is Bold BB, of course, that's got a bit of Australian form, and according to our information is racing well, and from the draw could be a big chance. Bold BB. As to the latest in pick 6 with that 16-1 shot in the previous event, number 16 Receiver's Pride. There are 12 live units left, going for that $250,000. So 12 live units left in the pick 6 tonight. It's all action on race 10 at 10:40 from the park. Bold BB at $3.20, $1.70, so well supported on the New Zealand tote. 1960 metres this event. It's a mobile start, and they start just into the back straight at Harold Park. As I mentioned, I think it's just a tad under 800 metres, about 780 metres around. And it's turned into a bit of a speed track with some of the work they've done on it over the last 24 months with those Inter-Dominions they had a couple of years back. Still a tight wee track. And we'll join our commentators as they brush up behind the mobile for race 1 from Harold Park. Go Christopher Vance, number 10.
Gates on its way here for the 4th race. We'll have them away shortly for race 4. Just about set now. Couple of driving changes later in race 5, Tijuana Gold, Darren Binskin, and in race 6, Miss Prissy, Robbie Burns are important ones. They're often racing in the 4th. And away pretty quickly here in the centre was, near the inside, Spirit of Red Hill. Cross Bold BB, easy enough. Out wide, Yankee Elmhurst and Silky Blue Chipper Handy. And getting up 3 wide now, Exceptionally Smooth. Followed then over on the inside now by Al Ainsley. Behind them, caught wide, Mr. Whiz. Between one, this is Hilarious Jet. And then second last on the inside, Admiral Chimes. And Christopher Vance is last. Spirit of Red's in front, but quickly, Exceptionally Smooth got around them. And the mare's got to the front after only about 400 metres. And she strode to the lead Exceptionally Smooth. Mr. Whiz is out 3 wide. Spirit of Red behind the leader. Bowl BB 3 back the fence. He's hopelessly locked away. Yankee Elmhurst on his outside. Then a length to Our Ainsley. Followed then by Silky Blue Chip. A length to Admiral Chimes. Second last Hilarious Jet. And a length off last is Christopher Vance. Into the back now. And Exceptionally Smooth. She got to the lead pretty cheaply. Mr. Whiz second. Spirit of Red on the fence is third. 1-1 Yankee Elmhurst. Over on the inside next is Bowl BB. Then Silky Blue Chip. In on the fence was Our Ainsley. They're followed by Hilarious Gent. Second last is Admiral Chimes, and Christopher Vance is back at the tail of the field. He's moving on him now, Hancock. And as they come up towards the home turn, Exceptionally Smooth in front of Mr. Whiz. Spirit of Red behind the leader. 1-1 Yankee Elmhurst. Christopher Vance is 3 wide coming around the field. Silky Blue Chip's in the centre. 3 back the fence. Bowl BB in a very awkward position for him. He's 3 back on the fence. Our Ainsley third last over on the inside. Second last Hilarious Jet, and Admiral Chimes is last. After the bell now, and the leader Exceptionally Smooth. The quarters have been 31-1 and 32-5, half 63-6. Not all that quick for this class, and this mare will be hard to run down. Exceptionally Smooth. She leads a half length Mr. West. Spirit of Red can't get out. 3 deep is Christopher Vance. Between runners then is Yankee Elmhurst. They're followed by Hilarious Gent with a trail home behind Christopher Vance. Bowl BB hopelessly cluttered away. He's right back on the inside. Then comes Silky Blue Chip. Admiral Chimes and Our Ainsley were last, but they're bunched up as they leave the back. We're Exceptionally Smooth a length. Mr. Whiz under pressure. Spirit of Red can't get out. 3 wide around them. Christopher Vance. Bowl BB can't get clear. He's easing one off the fence as they straighten for the run in. Exceptionally Smooth the leader. Christopher Vance on the outside's out after her. Spirit of Red gets into the open, but it's still Exceptionally Smooth in front. She's got them beaten. A great go for Miners, but that's the mare Exceptionally Smooth too good. Now for Miners, Our Ainsley flashed along the rail. It might have got second. Spirit of Red's there with Christopher Vance and Bowl BB wider out. They're followed then by Mr. Whiz, Yankee Elmhurst, Admiral Chimes, Silky Blue Chip and Hilarious Gent.
So that's the race from Harold Park in Sydney, and the mare Exceptionally Smooth. Once she got to the front fairly cheaply, as the commentators suggested, it was always going to be pretty tough for Christopher Vance as we get the final 200 metres or so. And Exceptionally Smooth in front. Christopher Vance, 3 out here with the green colours. We know from his racing over the years in New Zealand that he's a sort of sit and sprint type horse, so when he's got to go around the field in the middle of the race and do a bit of extra work, it just blunts that stinging sprint he has at the end of the race, and that was the case last week. It was again tonight. Exceptionally Smooth. I think she walked them pretty much for a lot of the race and sprinted home probably the last 800 metres in a pretty slick sort of time and has won it nicely. Photo coming up for second. Ainsley Cyril on the fence perhaps was favoured ahead of Spirit of Red and Christopher Vance in that photo for second, third and fourth. While we wait for that result to come through with a definite winner number 9 Exceptionally Smooth, the Burlington Air Express Wind Movers for the last of pick 6, race 10 at Alexandra Park. Time to go at 10:40, so we're just over 5 minutes away. 1 Gaelic Rose, the favourite at $2.30. Joni Vance, $6.50 it opened at. That's where the money's going, $4.60 now. Rivolo out to $10.55. Talk about time in from 20s to 17. 11.15 for Bankstown Bulldog, a horse with a bit of a reputation from the Langdon stable. And drifting from 22s out to 26.20, Sir Leader, number 8. Full market then for the Flash, Conditioned Pace. Gaelic Rose, a hot favourite on the strength of an unlucky run last time at the park. $2.30 and $1.05, James Stormont. Talk about time and Peter Ferguson, who won the first. Perhaps he can go out on the last as well. It'll probably upset most pick 6 punters if he does. $17.20 and $4.45. Otara Motor King at $28.40 and $6.20. Butler's Credit 43s and 9s, and double figures $10.55 and $3.15 for Revelo. Into Bankstown Bulldog, $11.15 and $3.55, Colin Butler. Sir Leader at $26.20, $6.20. $19.35 and $4.55, Reba Elmhurst, and the money's going on number 10, the Purdon runner Joni Vance. Mark Purdon going for 3 wins with this horse. Number 11. Robert Ness scratched, 12 checkers, $7.75 and $2.20, and long odds for Placid Boy, 44s, Berry Bryden, 64s, and almost 35 for number 15, Jefferson Eagle, driven by Tony Hurley, $7.85 if you like that horse for a place. So a lot of talent early on in its career, 15 actually, but at long odds tonight. Still no result coming through from Australia as yet, but we can tell you that number 9 Exceptionally Smooth confirmed as the winner. So while we're waiting for that result, we'll probably with 3 minutes to go before race 10 at Alexandra Park, go back to Jim Smith trackside for us for the big one in pick 6 tonight, $250,000 with 12 live units left in the pick 6 jackpot.
So good luck to those who are sitting holding some or one of those 12 units live. I guess very exciting time for you as you sit there and they get ready for the Flash Mobile Pace. Rather damp out on the track, as you can see at the moment. The surface water just giving a little bit of reflection off the track at this stage. But there's the favourite, number 1, Gaelic Rose, $2.45 at $1.25. James Stormont to drive, the Derek Ball trained rep. And when you look at the form line and the good handy draw over the 2,200 metres, Gaelic Rose certainly deserves that favouritism. Joni Vance is the big shortener in the race, which is number 10, $4.10 and $1.70. Mark Purdon to do the driving. This horse went very well at the Sunday workouts last week, having its debut run from the Roy and Barry Purdon stable. Joni Vance certainly cannot be discounted. She's going to give Gaelic Rose plenty of cheek in the race. It's number 14, Berry Bryden in shot, just having some adjustments made to the gear, but there's Joni Vance in behind it, the 10 horse. 3-year-old filly by Vance Hanover, out of traditional touch, formerly with Owen Purdon, but as I said, went well at the trials, and Joni Vance has to be respected in this race, despite the draw. Starts from in behind Gaelic Rose, so if James Stormont gets Gaelic Rose away on level terms, Joni Vance could get a nice drag through and certainly aid the cause. Number 3, Ortada Motor King there, Morris McKendry in the Jeff Small colours. That's paying $29 and $5.20. Just on the inside of it now is Butler's Credit, Michelle Wallace, another of the outsiders at $37 and $9. Talk About Time, number 2 over against the fence in the Doug Gale colours, Peter Ferguson. That's at $16 and $4.10. Revelo, just going to the right of your screen and out of shot in the blue colours. The second of the Derek Ball trained runners. He takes the reins, and Revelo is showing $8.65 and $2.55. Reba Almahurst there in the black and white, although there's the Herbert colours there, the white with the blue and yellow stripes. Sir Leader, the horse involved there, number 8 at $23 and $5.95. This, of course, is a condition race. I like Joni Vance to win the race ahead of Gaelic Rose. Maybe if there was something just to toss in for an absolute outsider, number 8, Sir Leader, could grab some of the money. It's almost paying $6 the place. So the last leg of pick 6, 12 live units heading into the race. Good luck if you're involved in some of those 12 units. Albie Gain from Radio Pacific.
Racing. And away they go in the last, the Flash Mobile Pace, the 6th leg of pick 6, and Reba Almahurst towards the outside, made a flyer. Down the inside, Talk About Time, and Gaelic Rose well away now with Bankstown Bulldog. Sir Leader made a good beginning, just in behind. The speed now is going to be as they settle Checkers. A length and a half for 2 away. Revelo is followed back on the inside then by Joni Vance, and Otara Motor King, Placid Boy and Butler's Credit. Second to last is Berry Bryden and Jefferson Eagles at the tail of the field as they swing into the back down past the 1700, and the leader now is Gaelic Rose, the favourite, on top by a length and a half to Bankstown Bulldog. Talk About Time. There's Checkers on a forward move, followed by Sir Leader. Back on the inside, 4 deep is Revelo, Reba Almahurst in the black and white on the outer. A length and a half then in the Purdon colours. Joni Vance is followed down on the inside. Otara Motor King. Over on the outside now is Placid Boy, 3 wide. Berry Bryden, Jefferson Eagle second to last, and Butler's Credit is at the tail, about 12 to 14 off them. At the 1300 metre point now, the leader in the last, the Flash Mobile, is still Gaelic Rose. Gaelic Rose on the outside, Checkers a breeze down on the inside. Bankstown Bulldog in the 1-1. Sir Leader up and around it now is Berry Bryden. They're followed 3 deep on the inside. Talk About Time, Reba Almahurst. Placid Boy is Jefferson Eagle on the outside. They're followed then by Joni Vance. Then we've got on the inside Revelo, Otara Motor King. Placid Boy second second to last, and Butler's Credit at the tail, 12 lengths off the lead. A circuit left to go now, 9:50 to run, and the leader is Gaelic Rose on the outside. The Breeze Checkers 3 wide then to Berry Brighton. Back on the inside, trailing Bankstown Bulldog, Sir Leader and Tony Shaw. Nice 1-1. They're followed over on the outside then as they move towards the 800 metres by Jefferson Low Bell. Then Talk About Time, Reba Elmerhurst in the centre. Joni Vance came next. Back on the inside in the Blue River Low, Otara Motor King, Placid Boy, and Butler's Credit. Quarters 33.4. The half 104.3. They travel on down the far side in the last of Flash Mobile, and the leader is still Gaelic Rose. Gaelic Rose and James Storm on 3/4. Checkers back on the inside, Bankstown Bulldog. Sir Leader in the 1-1. They're followed on the outside, Berry Brighton, Reba Elmerhurst. Then Talk About Time, wider out in the track then to Jefferson Eagle. They're followed back by Joni Vance and Revelo. Butler's Credit on the inside.